Hello Canvanauts, yep, that's what they call us. So I'm going to show you in this video how to make graphics that can take a style from other things or a color or how to switch colors or other things like that. Sometimes you do have the colors up here, but this is brand new, and you've also got this over here, which is brand new. So I'm going to show you a bunch of these little tricks to get your graphics looking awesome and more in line with your style. So let's say we have this kind of style. I can use this brand new thing, copy art style, and copy it to other things. So let's try it, for example, to this one. Let's also do it to others at the same time. It is a premium feature, that's why it's showing you this. And let's see what they yield. It does take a while because it uses AI to do that. Okay, there we go. So it's done a pretty decent job at getting the essence of what I want to do. But let's go a little bit further. So you can take these ones and make them kind of a different color by using a duotone. So this is not a new feature, but in edit and then duotone here, I can choose a custom one where I can use a color picker. And let's say that I want to do this kind of green. Perfect. I can also make it play around with the shadows, for example. If I want to do white as well instead, then it can do that. Or I can do another color from here, like another shade of green, like that, and it will look pretty decent. It won't give me the kind of neon effect. That is a little bit more difficult to do because that's actually going into non-vector territory, but I wanted to show you what it can yield. I also did this one to this and it gave me something like that. But then you could also do a duotone to get it like this. You could also do a style match. So a style match is another new feature. I can click on this once it's done it. This one, for example, and I can go to edit. Now I have the style match, also new and also premium. And I can go to a green one, for example. That will kind of get rid of that painting copy style and do something different. There you go. It actually got rid of the style match. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This is still in its infancy, so it's still kind of learning as it goes along. And I noticed somewhat I have some weird combinations with certain objects. So if I go back to my recently used, let me get back this one and this one. So check out what happens if I take this one to copy art style to this. Let's do a couple of others whilst we're at it. Okay, there you go. So it has kept the fact that I want it to be green with this style and also added this style as well. So yeah, very different types of pianos there. Note that if you want these to be thicker lines, there are ways that you can do that. If you go to edit and they put outline and shadows, which is kind of really confusing, and then outline here. And the color picker is not great. You don't have a way to choose the color of something else. You would kind of need to get the hex code from somewhere else, and then you can make it different intensity, different size, like that. But it is a way to make these thicker to get more like what your original style was. I have in the past done it so that I've clicked on this and added the style, but the style actually puts this note inside the piano. Didn't do that. It's using AI, so it's a little bit unpredictable, but there you go. Another thing that you can do with the new version is you can also ask Canva about any object here. So for example, I got it to switch this cable car to be people on a ski lift, and then I said, well, they should actually be going in the direction of travel, so they moved it here. So let's say that I add these two graphics. Note that this is an older feature, but you can switch colors in many of these graphics and even sometimes in photos, which is pretty cool. It doesn't always give the most realistic vibe with photos, but with graphics, it's usually pre-chosen by the creator of the graphic that you can do that. So it's easier because these are vector images. Something like this, it doesn't let you do that as easily. However, what you can do is you can go to Ask Canva. So you can just say some things, switch the yellow suitcase to a red pram, switch the man to a woman in a bride gown with a dog on a leash. Doesn't always get it right, but it allows you to do edits conversationally. There you go, here's an image to try. But you can amend on top of that is conversational. So I should say, bride is not on the carousel, but beside it. Carousel should go back to its original colors. There we go, that's much better. If I add the image, she's actually got a see-through dress. So it is white on a white background. And yeah, they've gone beside it. They are a lot bigger than the carousel. The carousel looks tiny in comparison compared to this man. But that's okay. You can just keep iterating on it or take certain aspects of that. But it's really cool that you can do that, I find. Just whilst we're here, a couple of new features that you can get from Element is 3D objects. So for example, I can get this 3D leaf that allows me to rotate it in any way that I wish to. And you also got forms. This is not really for graphics, but for websites and things like that. You can have questionnaires or tick boxes or things like that. And then the results from that go into a Canva Sheets file. Loads of other new features that have launched in late 2025. Check out my other videos if you want to learn about Excel, PowerPoint, Google Sheets, Zoom, Teams, or other Canva stuff. Thanks for watching.